Just got hit on the drop. Next cast. Well people, it's time for the Totally Awesome Fishing Show again. Here I am in the tackle shack. This is going to be a put together film because if you watched the last film went up 48 hours ago, you'll gather I actually sold the boat, High Sea Drifter. It departed to pastures new. Plus the workload from the properties, bosh, on the desk. So you've got to get your priorities in life right. So I'm not going to get time to put a whole fishing film up. I'm putting this one up. It's a mishmash, but there's stuff on there that you might find interesting. That was a close wobble then, guys. So I'm down here at Russell Water Sports again. Just killing an hour, literally an hour, hour and a half on the lake here. I've come over the bridges you've seen. I'm going to go up and throw in, well, I've hooked a pipe before and see if there's one fish there for me. Certainly peaceful here, I must admit. Get the odd plane because there's an airport close. Small light aircraft place. It is what it is. And for me, 15 minutes down the road, 20 minutes, pretty handy. There's also here, it's well up at the moment, the River Blackwater, which apparently the owner of Len, who does the fishing here, said you can fish, apparently. Jungle fishing, eh? There's scratch marks here, look, down there, can you see them? Maybe they're deer, something like that. Right, let's get down the bay, give it a throw. I'm going to use the same red and white lure I've been using here before. It's caught. I was actually going to throw some giant lures around just to see in case there's a giant pike there, you know what it's like. But I now can't be bothered. I'm just going fishing for fishing's sake and I want to try and catch one fish. Well, a big huge lake through there. That's not the same fishery, it's a different fishery there. Going to be windy when I get round here, so it's going to be wind in the mic job. Whew. It's just this bay and the point, that's the only two places I'm really fancying what I call the point. I've only fished it once, only had one fish, but I bumped a decent one off there, I feel. This river looks very, very roach and chubby, that stretch there. Hang on, somebody's stolen the swim. I think I've walked past it towards you people. It's windy, but I feel a fish coming. Well, I know fish, people, probably a skunk, but water looks beautiful and clear. So just come on to another section of the lake and you want to see all the shells here from the swan mussels. It's phenomenal. I've also seen some oyster catchers going around. And I wonder if these come out with oyster catchers. Would they get those out? Does anybody know if oyster catchers will come up? They obviously have something to do with oysters. Look at these ones. That's fairly fresh open, that one, I guess. And here, it's absolutely littered. You can see that with swan mussel fragments all the way up. I mean, how many are in here? A beautiful pearlescent colour inside there as well. I don't think I've seen that many for years. That's got a lovely blue sort of sheen to it, that one. They obviously like coming up here on the concrete. It's a slipway for the PWCs here. And swan mussels is generally the sign of tench. I've got a feeling this is a shallow lake by the, you know, the drop down time of the lure hitting the bottom, so maybe when it warms up this is worth coming to have a bit of a bait up and see what's in there. Here comes the rain. Got fish on, guys. It's only a small pike, was at distance of one of the other lakes. Here he comes. I'm sorry the lens is covered in rain. Oh, he's not that small. I thought he was about 2 pounds. I do like these rubber lures. Come and see the folks on YouTube. There we go. Well, that's the best of these big singles. Tiny little crush barb. I can shake the fish off. I didn't actually get to show it to you. I was trying to take the hook out and pick it up at the same time. At least I haven't blanked, and that's what I came for. But I'm more, to be honest, intrigued about seeing all these mussels are on this other slip as well. And they say this tench to what, 10 pounds, 11 pounds in here. The warm weather will hopefully see me return. Just got hit on the drop. Next cast. Don't know what you're going to get out of this. Absolutely took on the drop. He felt like he absolutely throated this lure. And he has. Yes, indeed. Better fish altogether. Here he comes. Let's get this one on the mat. That's a way bigger fish, that one. And there we go. Let's get him back. That was a result. Yeah, I find it curious I can actually change, not lakes, let's put that down. Not change the lakes, the same lake but a different section. The thing is, this lake doesn't feel very deep at all. Just by 4 or 5 seconds the lure takes to hit the bottom. And then I guess there's weed coming up as well. Just really shallow. Another one, guys. He's got his tail hooked in his own mouth. Look at that. I've never ever had that. His teeth have gone through his tail fin. Not a big fish, but listen, 3 in one session. Only been here an hour. So listen, that was just another short trip where I lucked out and got a bit of fishy action with those pike, but went for a walk with the wife and daughter. A bit of exercise on the wife's knee. Oh, just happened to be past a very nice piece of river. Now this river is gin clear. It is a chalk stream, but my goodness, you want to see what I spotted and filmed in there. As you can see, at long last the sun has come out. Hallelujah. It starts to bring out the flowers. Now, you can see just this ditch. Look at this. This rarely dries out because it's chalk fed. That's a nice name, a vintage name of a place. Now this river is a chalk stream. That means it rises through chalk in the ground. The water comes from the underground aquifers, filters it, and it comes out to the surface very, very clear, as you can see there. Now, wait for this. This is being flooded. If you look by my feet, you can see it's actually come over the boards there. Look, it's come right up over the boards. So I'm calling this semi-flood conditions. You'd think it would be churned up if it was what they call a spate river, which rises through, let's say, clay or runoff from hills. It's going to be coloured and muddy. You wouldn't even think of probably fishing it. But because with chalk streams, they are filtered through the chalk, you get a whole different, well, it's a picture, apart from swans, not one of my favourite birds, but they're pretty close up, I suppose. At least they're not eating my ground bait when I'm tench fishing. Look at this stream, guys. This is how a lot of rivers used to be, and that's the main problem we have, the lack of weed. Now look at the amount of beautiful weed. This is done in this month, April. I went there filming, and look at the stream of weed. Now when I used to go barbel fishing, this was full. I've just had a text sense, probably from the fish. Underneath the water, you can see where it's come through a sort of mill race, how much oxygen bubbles are trapped in that water column there, swirling along, and that makes it really healthy, really fit. The fish have got to fight all that current, so they're really, really fit, but more important is a high oxygen content and being clear, you get good weed growth. Very, very picture postcard type of setting there. If I just pan down, look how clear the gravel is. Now, if you look on the River Wye the last time I went, it was mud coloured. My God, you should have seen the grayling in there. I often go for a walk on this river. I have never seen so many big grayling. If I tell you, honestly, the majority of these fish are 3 pounds. There were a couple that I've seen that were pushing close to 4 pounds. And I believe they were either feeding on brown trout eggs where they were spawning, or, that's a big fish there, look at that one behind it, or were they in a sort of spawning mode before? But I've never been that close to them with the camera before. And you can see how clear that gravel is. There were some stupendous grayling in this river. Now, don't get all excited about it because it's a no fishing area. I just wanted to show you the quality of the water there and the quality of the fish inside it. Now, there's no silt, sludge, mud or anything covering these sections of gravel here because of the speed of the current. Now, if we keep building housing estates and sucking the lifeblood out of the bottom of the rivers, because the aquifers are getting lower and lower to feed huge housing estates and projects, oh my God, I so want to catch that fish, then we're going to get less flow, therefore we're going to get more silt and sediment resting on the bottom. It's going to choke this lovely weed off. We'll have less fish life. So I just thought, if we don't show this, oh my word, look at that. And there's a duck as well. And if you look, guys, there's a fish or two below this. Obviously it comes because people feed these ducks, and the fish know that as well. That's an aerial shot further downstream, and you'll see maybe some small brown trout in there as well. The flow has slowed up just a bit there, just a tad, but still a super piece of water, even if it is not fishing a no fishing zone. It shows basically, look, this is a little fish, there are 2 fish in fact. This generation would not know what rivers look like in general. They think, you know, if they're all choked up with weed and trees and silt, they look like that. No, they shouldn't look like that. This is what they should look like a lot of the time. A good flow, and that clears the silt away, which allows everything else, invertebrates, everything, to grow and flourish. And this is managed, obviously. You can see there's a shutterboard system there. It pushes the water down under a pipe and goes to, I believe, another lake. I used to fly fish the other lake years ago. Goes under the tunnel. I forgot to flip the camera up the other way for that one. You always hope there's going to be a giant fish living under there. I had a poke around with the underwater. There indeed, look. Now what's that? That looks like, I'm looking at that. Is that a big dace? Surely not. Probably a trout. If you look carefully, you'll see a couple of static fish there. They will be brown trout. The graylings seem to be up in the faster water. But what a pleasure to see a beautiful, clear river like this. And just moving down, they've got an eel house. What do they call it? An eel house there. So the eels would migrate up and down the river, and they were indeed trapped, caught, and I guess sold years ago there. And because I've got a very long pole, I can reach over there and film it. So see the increase in the flow again, and that sort of scours everything through. And that's what we're missing in so many rivers, is the lack of flow in the water. And of course, the less flow there is, and the more pollution you put in there via runoff, sewage or whatever, then that dilution is a higher concentration. So it's bad enough putting, you know, the pollutants in there. Not in this river, I'm just saying this will probably just have farm runoff pollution. But if you could imagine having a glass of orange juice, diluted orange juice, you can either make it very strong, or if you had less, you have more water in there, it's obviously, look at that brownie, oh my God, that is probably 5 pounds. And wait for this, people, look at the tail. That's not stocked. That's a wild fish. That will be just a wild fish. Beauty. That was down where they feed in the ducks. I'll try and do some voiceover. Oh, look at this I found. I thought, that's not a trout. That's not a grayling. Wait for this. It's a jumbo perch. But just check his eye. Is he partly blind? I don't know. Some perch experts tell me, but it is not a small perch, that one. Going back up the river, I keep it at a higher angle, and as I walk quite fast, you should see the odd fish scoot away, and there are some grayling. I can spot them immediately out. They're big fish. Trust me, they are big fish. Wouldn't it be fun to fish there? Fly, even float, bucket of maggots. Oh my God, you wouldn't need a bucket of maggots. You need a little pinch of bread. But there you are. I just thought this would be nice just to show people one of the better rivers, and some stupendously huge grayling about as well. You know me and jobs, I just can't sit still. I have to do something. The wife said, what are you going to do this morning then for the next couple of hours? I said, I think I'll start painting the house. Which part, she said. I said, the whole thing. So yes, GP gets hold of the roller and gets the old Santex Cornish cream colour that he's used so much, and starts doing all the walls, all the garage and the entire house because he's bored. But what I found this year, look at that green. Now I've already bleached this, been there I don't know what, 17 years. I've never had that green stuff before, and I don't know what's causing it. And if you look up under the gutters there, you can see there's loads of green there. Now is that because we've had such a wet March and April? I don't know, because a lot of this green was there in the winter. I clean all this, I do clean it. There's the south facing side of the pipe, and look at the other side. It's little speckly dimply bits, which is, you know, I've not really had before. Unfortunately with painting there's always a downside. Oh, here comes the black cloud. So I've got all those. Cumulonimbus, is that it? Is there a cloud expert? Please, a cloud expert, tell me, is that, I think it's cumulus or cumulonimbus, and it's got the stormy stuff. I've also got hairline cracks appearing in the render. I normally paint this every 2 years. I missed it last year. Hollow one side, hard the other, which, as most plasterers and renderer people will tell you, that side's a bit sketchy. It's hollow, it's a duller sound, that's a harder sound, that's still sticking to the brickwork. So, and the bottom half is different to the top half of that crack. Now, I could cut it all out, but I try and put the paint over there as thick as I can. I love this paint they give. And the other thing, look, this annoys me. All these bits are breaking off. Now, we had in December a really bad freezing period where it was like below 5 for 5 days, 6 days in a row in the daytime temperatures. It didn't kill the moss, but it's killed my bricks. And if you look along there, it just sort of splits them off. I think it's because once you've got a dimple that the water can get under, it cracks. So what I do with this is I just get a big gobful on my roller, push it in vertically, so it's tapped into the crack, and then layer it over the top, but very lightly, just to get that cover in. And I figure that's going to last another year. I finish at the top of the back. That's fine. In case anybody knows, there used to be a shooting estate around where I live. They used to have cover crops, and the guys out there must have had a few beers because they ended up shooting my house. If you can see there, there's the spread of the shotgun cartridge pellets right across, blasting holes in my render, and it must have been from some distance away by the width of the spread of the shot. Either that, or he doesn't like me and he's given me both barrels. Then we thought we'd go for a drive down the coast, because sooner or later you get down to the seaside and you do feel better. All that stress, other than me driving, all the stress goes. So we went down to a place called Emsworth. It's quite pretty, it's on the south coast, gets pretty busy, not easy to park. And of course, it's a picture postcard southern scene with the tide up. Now, tide would normally be up and down every 6 hours here. It does dry out, and everybody is out there, and I don't blame this time of year. Let's get some good weather, let's get out on the water and enjoy ourselves. I think I might look for a new boat and see what's about, shall I? What do you think, guys? So I had a look around and thought, I don't think I'll be buying that boat. Do you? And I don't think I'll be buying that boat. I never understand why people let them get to that state. It's beyond me, I don't understand it. From there we had to go down to Bracklesham Bay, where there's a huge fossil area, and wait for this. I looked up and had a look around, and that's where they've got a lot of shark teeth. Yes, they come up as black. I've gone looking for them, never found them, but they do. And the species of shark, wait for this, is the same species of shark that was washed up recently in the UK in the Solent, and more importantly over in Ireland, a massive one, 14 feet long. Oh my God. Sand tigers, short-toothed sand tiger was it called? And it's here, are they coming back? The sand tigers from millions of years ago. So anybody who wants to go with their kids, Bracklesham Bay, low tide, get yourself a little sieve and you can get down there. Actually, while I was filming this, the wife talked to a woman who got some ray-dentical teeth, and she actually had 2 fossilised black shark teeth from the same species. So there you go. Get out there with a shovel. Well, I had a bit of a result. Ding dong goes the doorbell. Who is it? It's Alan. He's just dropping some squid off. Would I like some for bait? And I thought, obviously yes, because it's getting to the time of year when the shore fish is good. But they're not just bait, it's these. Exactly. Let's put them on the table, show you. This is a 2 kilo box it was, or sack now, of baby squid. And what I love about these is they're bite sized for fish, but these are they've been cleaned apparently as well. But they're not all one big gobby mass, which is normally happens if I put them in my freezer, so I can take out what I want. So that's brilliant. They're just bite size, A for me, and B, hopefully for the fish. So they're going in the freezer, but I've taken one out just to have a look at it. I'm going to have to tell the wife that that's not bait, that's food. But it's a mixture of both. But they're tiny, check them out. Now these little chappies apparently are all ready to go. So there's the head, there's the tentacles, look, there. So I could cook that whole thing. And normally on the big ones I've caught, I could just clean the guts out like this. Says already cleaned, and then I get a knife. In fact, in this case I can use the scissors. I could have made little miniature rings of this, or because I can cut them open like that, there's a little plastic backbone there, look, see? So I've got that just as a piece of meat now, ready to cook. I definitely could cook these and the head. I mean, you can feel around if you want to remove the beak, but for me, I might keep these because they look such a good size. That bit just there, let me get in the camera. That is a beautiful little size for something like a black bream on a small hook there. So I might hang on to those as bait and then keep these for cooking. But they are a lovely little piece of clean meat there. So fingers crossed, I can get the frying pan going. I'm going to look up a recipe. If you guys know any recipes for baby squid, other than putting them on the hook, look, I'm playing with it now. I can roll that up, put the hook through there, and that make a great bait for shore fishing, smooth hounds, well, bass, anything. But we'll try it cooking them first. Well people, I'm sorry it's not a totally awesome fishing film this time. It's all I can put together for you for this Friday. I've got a long one next week, a full one, fishing one. It's got like 140, 150 clips in it, which is what, I just couldn't do it. I just had no time. I'm up till 10:30 at night. Anyway, editing, I knew there's no way I'm making this one. Next week, hopefully, we'll get some good fishing ones. Might even be in the tackle show, I don't know. Stay tuned, keep looking out for the totally awesome fishing show. It's the best all-round fishing show in the world.